value. I know you're probably thinking, what? Just think back to what is the multiplication property of equality. And we'll take a look in the next example. We'll be able to see how we're going to use this. All right. Now, here are my two equations. So let's say the multiplication property of equality means that I'm going to, whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side as well. So if I'm going to multiply by -2 to one side of the equation, I need to do the whole thing, the other side as well. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I multiplying by -2? Well, here's a 4x, right? If I multiply by -2 for this one, what is that going to give me? That's going to give me a -4x. So if I have -4x and a 4x, and if I add those two together, then let's see what we have here. -4x plus 4 equals 0. So those will eliminate right there. And then -6 plus -9y gives me -15y. And then -10 plus -10 is -20. And then my y is going to be 4/3, because I have a negative number divided by another negative number, and that's going to give me a positive number right there. Then I can take that y equals 4/3 and can plug it back into any one of those. And so they've taken the first equation, okay? I plug that back in. Now look what's going to happen to the 3's here. Those cancel out nicely too, don't they? So then I'm left with 2x plus 4 equals 5. Now 2x equals 1, and then x equals 1/2. So now my solution is 1/2 4/3. And if you want, you can test it out. Plug them back in to the equations here. 2x, 2 times 1/2 plus 3 times 4/3, and that'll give you 5. Then same thing with this equation, and that should work. Now, example number 4. Here are my two equations, and in order to eliminate one of the variables, first I'm going to take the top equation and multiply that by 2, and then the bottom one multiply by 3, because then that will give us two equations where we can eliminate the y. Okay, and this is plus 6y, this is minus 6y, and then that will give me a 0. And then 4x plus 9x is 13x, and that's equal to 36, because 12 plus 24. And then my x is 36 divided by 13, or is 36 over 13. That's my x. Well, then I have to plug that back in to one of these equations right here, and then solve for y. In order to avoid dealing with fractions, we can start at the beginning to find y. So 36 over 13 is x. Now, instead of plugging that back into x, then they're going to go back to the beginning, to the two equations again, and I'm going to multiply now so that I can eliminate my x's. So 3 times 2, now what can I multiply this by to give me the opposite? I'm going to multiply by 2, okay? So here's my new equation. multiplied the whole thing by 3, and that's what I get. Multiplied this whole equation by 2, and then here's my new equation. And then look, when I subtract 6x minus 6x, what does that give me? 0. So then 9y minus negative 4y gives me 13y. And then 18 minus 16 is 2, so now my y, I can solve and get 2/13. So now I have my solution is going to be 36 over 13, and then 2/13. Solving a system by elimination. Multiply both sides of one or both equations so that the coefficients of one of the variables have the same absolute value. All right. Then you add or subtract the equations to eliminate the variable. Solve the resulting equation. All right, we're going to follow these steps. Find the value of the eliminated variable by substituting the result into an original equation and solving, or eliminating the other variable. So like what we did earlier, if you first solve for x, and if that x is a pretty big fraction and it gets pretty messy if you plug it back in, then you go back to the two equations and then solve for y. Then you write the solution as an ordered pair. Check the solution by substituting it into each equation. All right, now there is your homework assignment. Hopefully those won't be too challenging. These are just 2 examples of each section. So representation, 2 samples there. Now 29 to 33, I want you to complete all of these. There's only, I think, 5 problems right there, okay? And those are word problems, but don't get too hung up with those. I think you'll be able to, you just take the phrases, the sentences, break them down, and see how you can solve those. And until next time, have fun with these problems right here.